So after the show yesterday, when we talked about Martin Luther King Jr. and that hideous new statue, monument, sculpture, whatever you want to call it, that's in Boston, the headless, bodiless embrace between MLK and his wife, after the show, I was reminded of the FBI's harassment of MLK, how they wiretapped his home, how they essentially just harassed him. They put this dragnet around him, tried to make his life miserable. It's really dark stuff, what the FBI did to MLK. There's this rumor, I don't know if this is true, I don't know if this is tall tales, but there's this rumor that James Comey, who I consider to be one of the most corrupt FBI directors in the history of the FBI, which is saying something, given the fact that the FBI has been corrupt since its inception, since the first FBI director. There's a rumor that James Comey kept when he was the director of the FBI, kept a copy of the wiretap order for the FBI to spy on MLK on his desk as a reminder, so the rumor has it, that of what the FBI could do wrong. Now, there's obviously tremendous irony if this rumor is true, because James Comey was perhaps single-handedly most responsible for signing off on the orders to spy on President Trump and people in his orbit. You know the story. Tremendous irony here. But DC Drano posted the graphic of the letter that undercover FBI agents sent to MLK in 1964. This was discovered a couple years ago because there was a letter that FBI agents who were posing as just haters of MLK. So let me rephrase this. This letter was sent to MLK in 1964. It wasn't signed by the FBI. He wasn't supposed to know it was the FBI. It was sent under the guise of it being someone who really disliked him, maybe a fellow black man who called him a fraud, thought what he was doing was wrong. MLK himself suspected that this was from the FBI because there were significant threats in this. It was psychological warfare. But this letter had been redacted. We hadn't been able to see everything that was in this letter for a long time until a professor found the unredacted version in the National Archives and released it publicly. So now we do. And DC Drano posted this, reminded me of it. And I want to read just a couple lines from this just to remind everyone, as I was reminded, exactly what the FBI is capable of. So it starts by saying, King, in view of your low-grade, abnormal personal behavior, I will not dignify your name with either a Mr. or a Reverend or a Doctor. And your last name calls to mind only the type of king, such as King Henry VIII and his countless acts of adultery and immoral conduct lower than that of a beast. Which I think we can all agree is perhaps the most dehumanizing thing until the following paragraphs. This is an outright threat. The letter says, you are finished. You are finished. It concludes by saying, King, there is only one thing left for you to do. It's a threat, by the way. This whole letter is a threat of exposure of Martin Luther King Jr.'s extramarital affairs. And it says, King, there's only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do. This exact number has been selected for a specific reason. You are done. There is but one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal, fraudulent self is bared to the nation. So this is like a hideous letter, right? It was written by FBI agent William Sullivan, and Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife opened it. Like I said, MLK at the time suspected that it was written by the FBI, but it's threatening him, telling him to commit suicide or else all of his extramarital affairs, the FBI threatened him, would be exposed publicly. This is dark stuff. To tell someone that you have 34 days to commit suicide, otherwise the FBI, who through their spying and their wiretaps, including collecting wiretaps of his affairs, recording him having sex, they threatened to release that after they'd taped it if he didn't kill himself. This was during the J. Edgar Hoover FBI. This is just a reminder that the FBI has been corrupt since its very inception. The FBI has weaponize the power of the federal government against private citizens for their own political agenda since the beginning. This is the legacy of the FBI. This whole idea that some politicians, even Republicans, who say, listen, the FBI serves a good and moral and proper and necessary function. There are a few bad apples here and there, but we just have to weed them out and we'll be fine. No. The FBI was conceived in corruption.